Okay, I've done a lot of work lately, and I'd seen a few requests over wanting to see a walk around of my Murray right here, and I was just gonna do a little bit. So I'm gonna do that, and just an update of everything else I've been working on the last week. So here's this. This mower none of you have seen yet, but this is the one my brother's been working on. Well, not really. I built it for him. He just paid for it, but whatever. But I've had to build a double pulley clutch system on it. It's geared 1-to-1 just like this thing, but this thing has a 4-inch on the engine and stuff, and it's pretty much done. We just have to add that little Kevlar belt we got for it, and see either it should be ready to go. I mean, there's no kill switch yet, but I don't see a reason for that. Like, who needs to tip it over if it falls on you or anything? But see, the racing mower doesn't really have any progress on it yet because I've not bought the other mower yet, and I've hurt myself on it pretty. I fractured my tailbone on this about 2 weeks ago, so I haven't really been able to do much because it hurts a lot. So I'm waiting till I get a hood because this thing right here got up and caught my wrist a little bit, cut here, and I'm afraid that that little hook there's gonna get my wrist next time. So I'm waiting for a hood before I do this. So, well, now here's for the walk around of the Murray. But you should be seeing this video in the next video or so. So me taking a romp, because this thing should be good by then. Here's the recovery mower build. It's done some progress on it. I went to get some tires mounted for my brother's mower over there, and he had these ones sitting out. They have terrible sidewall damage, but they're good tires. I got them. He gave them to me for free, but I had to buy inner tubes. So that'll be like, that cost me like $40, but they're pretty good. They're 25-inch mud lights, so a lot better than the turf tires I was just gonna double cut. Okay, now I'm gonna get onto the video. Get a little sidetracked. But here's the Murray. It's got 22-inch mud machine tires on the rear with 8-inch rim. They also fit on any mower rim, really. It's got 21-inch Duro tires on the front. They do pretty well. I mean, it's been slowing me down in the snow, but it helps in mud and stuff because I have that big heavy opposed twin on there, which kind of sinks it down, so I need to spread out the weight. So you might have seen in other videos. I have my winch right here, my gas tank can, because that engine uses all gas, and my GoPro mount, which I saw a Fearless's video, and I thought this might end up doing well. So show you right here under the seat. This stuff I keep in this back compartment, I've welded up. Just a chain, my pull rope, a V-belt idler, and a flat one as spares. I mean, these things are really wore. You can move the shaft all around in it, but if you're out somewhere and your pulley's bearings fall out, those will work to get you home. Screwdrivers, pliers, vice grips, electrical tape, spark plugs, pretty much anything you could need out there is in the back of this thing. So you probably need one of those if you're gonna really build a mower, because you do break down sometimes. So under the hood, this thing, recently did a little bit of work on this thing. This week, a little earlier this week, I ended up blowing the transmission. This thing right here, my posi was still posi, but it broke the teeth off the spider gear, which got caught in everything and broke the teeth off. This thing was missing a few teeth right there, but I filled it in the missing spot and filed some new teeth in there. Not sure if that'll hold or not, but just a spare. So I have the casings and everything right here. After several years of using this thing and that double clutch, like pulley system I got going on there, my needle bearings are all still good, so there's that. But more, I had to do a little bit of, been doing a lot of work lately. As you can see, those gloves were in pretty good condition in the beginning of the week, and mostly just a tape ball now, but whatever. Okay, under here now, it's straight piped. Just love the sound of a straight piped twin. I got new spark plugs in it. I was having some problems also earlier this week when one spark plug went out, and it took me a little bit to figure out what was wrong. Very little power, but 20 horse twin on here. My mount, my bumper. I can pretty much crash into anything at top speed, and I'm just going to hurt myself before it damages this bumper. So I'm going to lift this thing up in a second. I'll show you the underside. Okay, as I was working on this, I've also, to fit these big tires with these old rear rims off, I think it was a Craftsman, I had to weld bolts onto the ends of these front spindles because there's just not enough room to put the pins in, so you have to do that. Sometimes it takes washers and such. You're going to have to put two nuts and tighten them against each other, so because if you're driving and you only have one, it will eventually come undone. Then you're going to be stuck out there with one tire, which might make getting home a little bit difficult. And here's my pulley for my push, because my starter's bad, so my push button don't work. I mean, I've made it and everything. It's got kill switch and push button, but kind of useless right now. But I'm going to be buying a winch, 3,000 pound winch for this thing very soon to help me get down in steeper creeks and such. But here's my foot throttle I built. It's just a bike handle. It's pretty simple. You just weld a little pipe on at the angle you feel is comfortable. You run it around to wherever your throttle hookup is on your engine. It's on this engine. It's right here. It clamps right down in stock spot. Since I've been doing a lot of fencing lately, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I use a little crimp, which is for holding some of our hot wire together, and I wrapped the cable through this little adjustment thing here and did that, and move this in and out until it got my idle just right. And to return this bit, because you can see right here, it returns pretty quickly. Now I have a spring right along in here. It's pretty strong spring, not like too strong where it's not like breaking my stuff or anything. But and one last thing is, you should probably, on all mowers, you should have a fuel shutoff valve, because mud and stuff will get clogged in your jet sometimes, and you'll flood your engine or you'll turn it off. Come to start it the next time you plan on going on a romp, and it's going to be hydro-locked with gas, and you'll have to change your oil and all kinds of other problems. And another tip's like, if you have one of these, they have little screws here, is like welding a washer on here to make it more like a wing nut or something. Because like, I would just say use a wing nut, but the bolt doesn't come out of the carburetor. It's a bolt that has to screw into there, so you can see right here, it's simple and a lot easier than pulling a screwdriver out every time. Okay, I've just gotta lift this thing up now, and I'll show you all the underside of this thing, which I've got somewhat like strengthened so the frame don't split apart or anything, because I do some rough stuff with this. I'm gonna have to have my brother hand me something to hold this thing up in a minute, because it's a little bit heavy, but don't break off my camera mount tilting this thing. Here, Thomas, put in neutral real quick. That camera mount, that's the garage door. Okay, put in first again. Okay, here, just prop that up. Okay, as you can see right here, this is the underside of, alright, it's quite heavy right now, and here's a new transmission I'm running in. This is a Peerless MST 206. Same one as Redneck Computer Geek runs in his. I somewhat did his locking method, but up to like the locker block, but I did solid, like 100% welds of the inside of this. See if it might hold a little bit. I don't know, but right here I got a 6-inch pulley in the front, got a 6-inch pulley on the rear, and I have this little stock mounting bracket right here attached. have a little socket spacing that out because I couldn't figure anything. And here's this other one I've mounted on here. Since this thing has no brakes right now, I just built a bracket and it bolts into that because the other ones, these big ones, they tend to strip. So just give me a minute and I'm going to undo this skid plate. It could be built stronger, but it keeps the belt from ever getting brush on it or anything. And I can tell a huge difference in how long my belts last with this since the addition of this. So undo this and you can see the underside. Okay, now I've got this skid plate undone. I made it a little bit easier for access is I've welded a hinge onto this. I mean, it is made out of like tin sheet metal, but it really doesn't take much to keep brush and sticks and stuff from lodging up here in the pulleys. I just drilled 2 holes and bolted into some holes I already here built for self-tapping screws. But here's my clutch that I built. I have the spring and everything and pulleys. I put this new pulley here, and this one is pretty much newer. Idler off a mower deck, just off like 2 days ago, right before I blew my transmission, and got this. So here it all is. It's real strong. I've only had my belt come off once in like the last 5 or 6 months since I've owned this. Well, it's probably been a little bit longer than that, probably more towards a year since I've had it come off once, and that's because I forgot to put the retainer back on my transmission. So this clutch system is very reliable. It keeps your belts lasting longer, and I can drop the clutch in 5th gear and it'll turn off this 20 horse before it slips. So it's proven to be well on the trails. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and comment, like, and subscribe for more, and see this thing in action.